If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know that the Forefront lineup from Smith has been one of my favorite helmets that I tend to wear on every single one of my rides. With the Forefront 2, Smith made a lot of headway when it came to design and functionality with these helmets, and it quickly became one of my favorites. Now, obviously, this is a previous model, and Smith came out with the Forefront 3, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. So let's get at it. So as with the Forefront 2, you got the full Koroyd cover system from Smith. You get the new MIPS air node safety system that's integrated directly into the helmet padding to reduce rotational forces caused by angle impacts. It has a complete roll cage that's integrated throughout the helmet to distribute impact forces for a maximum level of protection. It also does feature Smith's new flexible fit system featuring BOA for a premium fit, and it's designed for ultimate integration with Smith Performance goggles and eyewear to allow mounting your glasses either on the front or the back of the helmet, just like it was with the Forefront 2. The air evac ventilation system also integrates with Smith goggles to allow for a fog-free wear experience if you're going to wear goggles. There are 20 fixed vents with a 3-position visor, and the weight for a medium is 14.4 ounces or 410 grams. So guys, when we look at this Forefront 3, it really is a design evolution from the Forefront 2. So what they tried to do here is improve the overall package with newer technology that they have with the rest of their line. And specifically with this Forefront 3, what they did was they improved the airflow in the front of the helmet by 25%. And I could tell you by being out on the trail, it is actually felt in comparison with the Forefront 2. You do get a lot more front ventilation on this helmet than you did with the previous model, which is a nice upgrade. So what other improvements do you get with this lineup? The Fitment system with the BOA integration system is a lot more comfortable. It seems a little bit more lightweight, and while the Forefront 2 had 270 degrees of adjustment, it does feel like a more comfortable overall system on your head, and a lot of that has to do with the back of the retention mechanism feels more like a rubber now instead of a hard plastic. So when you go to tighten down the mechanism to actually fit this around your head, it feels like it wraps a little bit more than feeling like there's hard plastic pressurizing in certain areas. Now, don't get me wrong, the Forefront 2 was plenty comfortable out on the trail. I wouldn't have worn it otherwise, but you do get a little bit of an increased comfort level here with the Forefront 3 just by the design of the retention mechanism in the back of your head. Now, with these upgraded features of safety and some of the integration of the new retention system, you are going up in weight. This is 30 grams heavier than the Forefront 2 was. So when you're quoted at 380 grams for the 2 versus 410 for the 3, there's a net weight increase there of about 30 grams for the medium size. So you are seeing an increased weight in the helmet. Now, out on the trail, 30 grams is not really all that much, but everyone knows every little bit of weight that you add to your body or the bike adds up over time. So just keep that in mind with this helmet. It is a little bit heavier. Now, that being said, this is a more AM enduro style helmet, so you do get a little bit more protection around the back of your head and with the helmet than you would with some of those more XC style helmets. So the weight isn't as huge of a difference, but it is something to keep in mind. The other thing is while you do get 25% of an increase with airflow with this helmet, that makes it feel cooler than the 2. Again, you're still dealing with an enduro style AM style helmet. So right now, especially when we're in temps that are 95 degrees and hotter with 100% humidity, you might look for something that has a little bit more airflow to it if you don't need the additional protection. And still, one of my favorite things about these Smith helmets, which they kept with the 3, is the ability to put your glasses on the back of your head. The way they design these airflow channels for the exits on the back of the helmet make it seamlessly integrate with Smith glasses, which makes it super easy out on the trail, especially on these super humid days that when I'm climbing, I don't want fogged up glasses annoying my ride, so I'm able to put these on the back of the helmet instead of the front. What that does is really allow me to put my glasses on my helmet and not sweat on them. For any of you guys that sweat like I do, I sweat if it's above 70 degrees outside. If I put those glasses under the visor on the front of my helmet, they end up getting a lot of drips of sweat all over them and make the glasses dirty. By being able to put those on the back of my head while I'm climbing, keeps all that sweat away from the glasses and makes it so when I get to the downhill, I can flop them on really quickly and I'm not worried about cleaning them every 5 seconds because of all those water droplets. So guys, is there anything that I could see as a negative about this helmet? First, while the retention system of this BOA system in this helmet is more comfortable than the previous model, it's also flimsy. You almost feel like you have to pull it back before you put it over your head. There's a lot more structure to the plastic structure that was in the 2, where this more rubberized structure wants to flop around a lot. Obviously, it does not move when you're actually riding. When you cinch it down, it's super comfortable. You're good to go. So if you're coming from helmets that have more of a structure to that rear retention system, it can get a little bit of taking used to of actually kind of pulling it out of the way and then putting the helmet on. And then the second part of this, which you always have to bring up, is this is not cheap. It is a premium helmet. It is a $300 mountain bike helmet. So you have to keep that in mind when it comes to the pricing. But when you factor in all the features of the helmet, whether it be the sunglasses and goggles integration, all of the safety features, including Toroid, which we have covered extensively in the past, just think of it as like crash zones for cars. It does take a lot of the impact away from your head. And having the latest in MIPS all integrated into one design that happens to look really good and have a lot of function, it still becomes my go-to helmet. I've tried a lot of different helmets out on the market, but the Smith, as far as the overall design, safety features, and the performance integration, tends to be my daily wear, and the 3 has taken over that for me. So guys, I want to hear what you think down in the comment section below. Is this something you could see yourself wearing? Do you have any experience with this helmet specifically, or any of the other ones in the Smith lineup? If you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Bike 198 for more videos like this in the future. Until then, on the next one. Thanks guys, see ya.